Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedmanlaw.com today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at coppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Big Red Birdies with Nebraska golfers Lindsey Teal and Megan Whitaker on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Lindsey Teal here with Megan Whitaker on Big Red Birdies. And we have a champion in the house today. Megan Whitaker won the Nebraska Amateur yesterday. We finished up. We were both in that field and Megan won it. So Megan, tell us about that tournament. Congratulations again.
Thank you. It was a fun 3-day tournament. It was stressful coming down the stretch, but it was super hot.
Yes,
it was very hot. It was like 100 degrees every single day.
That was the hottest few days of the summer, I think.
I'd say so.
That we've had.
Consistently hundreds.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was good. My goal was to just put myself in position after the first 2 days to have a chance yesterday. And then it was a crazy final round because as against Haley and Allison, it was us three in that final group. And there was a lot of birdies and bogeys and doubles, and it was hard to keep track of. So I was like, just try to make as many pars as you can and see what happens.
Finish it out.
Yes.
And you did.
Yes.
You did. That was really awesome to see. I was in one group ahead of you, so I was not able to watch. I watched the last hole, but I wasn't able to watch the rest of it. But yeah, that was fun to see. And I know you guys battled it out really the whole week. I mean, there was only a few strokes between you and Haley, at least, for pretty much the whole tournament. So that was really awesome. But yeah, way to pull it out.
Thank you.
And that was both Nebraska tournaments this year. She won the match play earlier in June, and then the amateur yesterday. So that's an awesome summer for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, it's been fun.
Yeah. I thought Wilderness Ridge was in good shape. It was playing, I thought some of the pins they had were playing pretty tough. So this definitely set it up championship level. So it was a really good tournament to play. Fun to play it in Lincoln too.
Yes.
We don't get that too much.
Yes.
So that was awesome. But
so I got a question. When it's, as you guys were saying, when the heat is really up there and temperature wise, like, are there certain things throughout the course that you're looking for when you're whatever kind of shot it may be on that course when the heat's so high? Are there certain things you're watching out for?
I noticed this week, unless I just had more adrenaline, but the ball seemed to be flying farther.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
think
totally
because of the
agree.
heat. I didn't quite adjust to that the first day, 'cause I think last week it was actually pretty nice out all week. And
Yeah.
Monday there was a couple times it was like a back pin and I went long.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh no, that should be a normal 8-iron, but it flew the entire green. So I really had to adjust that first day with how far everything was flying.
Yeah, I sometimes kind of forget about that difference too, but it is a big difference. I think it's like a combination of one, just like the air. I don't know, when it's hotter,
Yeah.
it just seems to fly further. But also when it's so hot, you're able to just get loose so much quicker. And I don't know if you can notice it, but even just looking at people's swings, like you're just able to turn so much more. People have longer swings because you just feel like you can just like rip at the ball because it's so hot out and you're not gonna, it's not like you're in the cold where you can barely turn your back.
Right.
So I feel like both of those kind of a combination just make the ball fly further. I would say this course in particular wasn't super dry. They had watered it quite a bit, but if it's like hot and dry, the ball's just gonna bounce and go. So you really have to account for that. I didn't feel that too much though at Wilderness.
No,
this
they
week.
had that course still pretty wet.
Yeah, it was pretty receptive.
Yeah,
with balls
considering the heat, it was, the
Yeah.
greens actually held really nice when you hit an approach shot. So
Yeah. But no, it's just you're sweating a lot.
Mhm.
Your hand, at least mine in my glove,
Yeah.
it's like soaked because you're just sweating and you have your glove on. There was a time I was hitting out of the sand and I don't remember what day this was, maybe Tuesday. So I had a fairway shot from the sand and the wind was coming back at me. So I hit out of the sand flies and it just comes right back on me. And I am not even kidding you, on my legs and arms,
just sticks.
just covered in
Yeah.
white. And I'm like, it just sticks to all the sweat that's on your legs and arms. And yeah, so I had to use my towel and wipe all that sand off. But no, I kind of like playing in the heat, honestly.
I do too. It was yesterday. I just noticed the last 9 holes. I think I was more nervous too, but my hands are just sweating.
So sweaty.
Like every shot I had to wipe my hands off. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like over 100 feels like. I think it was like 104 feels like when we finished.
Yeah.
But there was like not any wind at all yesterday, and I was just dripping. My hands were
Yep.
just sweating. I was like, this club could slip. Like it really could. I
Yep.
almost put my rain gloves on because
Yeah, I know it.
I felt like the club could slip out of my hand at any point.
Yeah. I don't know if you feel this way, but at least for me, when I'm playing in the heat, and I don't even know if I can like describe this accurately, but it almost feels like you're able to get so locked in. I don't know why this is in the heat, but even more so than if it's just like a super calm, like 70-degree day. I feel like it's almost like because it's so hot, it just demands from you like so much focus and attention, and you're just sweating. And especially when there's no wind, like you are literally just like locked in. And I don't know, it's just this weird feeling, but I just feel like I'm always more focused when it's so hot out because you're able to just like, you just have to sit in it and there's no escaping it.
Yeah.
There's no wind. Like it's just like you are there drenched in sweat in the heat. And I don't know, I'm just able to focus a lot better for some reason. I don't know if that's a thing that
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
felt.
I don't know. I feel like I've started focusing better when there's a little wind because it makes me think.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
yesterday that front 9, I wasn't thinking as much as I should have been because
Yeah.
I was missing shots just because I didn't think it through because there was like no breeze. I was like, oh yeah, 148 iron.
Got it. Yep.
Just automatic. But that back 9, there was like a little breeze and I started thinking better.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah. And tomorrow you leave again.
Yes.
You're just all over the place.
Yes.
You're really going out with a bang this summer.
Yes. Yep. I'm off with my family to Seattle for the U.S. Women's Amateur. So we're going to go
Yep.
play Chambers Bay Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then however long you advance in the tournament. So
Yeah, wishing you the best of luck. I'll be
Thank you.
following along and
Yes.
that'll be fun to watch. So yeah, and as for me, I'm coming off of 3 tournaments in a row, 3 weeks in a row. So for me, it is time for a break. And we will get into this a little bit later. Actually, in our 3rd segment today, we're going to be talking about just the importance of breaks and especially, coming from a long run of tournaments or even going into a season, just how important that is mentally and physically too, just with your swing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I found over the years, I have to really force myself to take breaks. I think it's
hard.
super easy when you're trying to play at a high level to allow yourself to fully take a break and not kind of like, sometimes I get in this mindset where I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm feeling good about it. And then I get maybe 2 or 3 days in and I just kind of panic a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I need to swing. I need to practice. I need to do something. So I am going to really try and intentionally take a full break, at least a week. to kind of rejuvenate, then get a swing lesson in before season starts for us with the Huskers in the fall. So yeah, looking forward to that. Wish me luck because I'm usually not very good at that, but we're going to try it out.
What are you going to do during your break?
Yeah, that's a good question.
To stay busy so you don't, you know,
Yeah.
go golf.
I know. I'm finishing a class right now, a psychology class just for summer school. So yeah, I'll finish that out strong. That'll finish next week. Get a few more work shifts in. I just work at Highlands. So yeah, hopefully just get a few work shifts in, take my mind off actually trying to practice.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, maybe, yeah, see my family, see some friends, maybe go to the lake again. I'll definitely have to find some things to do. So I'm not just sitting there like, should be practicing. But yeah, we'll fill up the space somehow. But I really am looking forward to that. Kind of just coming off of three tournaments in a row is tough to do. And yeah, like you don't really realize that until you get to the end of your 3 tournaments. And then you're like, wow, like I've been in tournament grind mode for 3 weeks now with like not a lot of practice sessions, you know, on the range or not a lot of slowing down time. And especially too, we were like traveling for them. I mean, we went Chicago and then I came home for a day and then went Kansas City. And then I guess this last one was back in Lincoln, but it does kind of take a toll on you. And when you get to the end of the 3 weeks, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
I'm ready to just kind of take a mental break. So yeah, I am excited for that. And then we'll be ready to go for fall season. So
do you notice, you were talking about fatigue. Is there a certain thing that happens to your swing as you're golfing that you're like, okay, I'm pushing it way too hard. I need to take a rest. Like, is there anything that you notice when you're golfing where it's like, I probably need to take some time off? Like you said, you had 3 tournaments in a row.
Yeah.
Was there anything that really stuck out to you that says I need a break right now?
I would say I can kind of feel it in my swing when I start to get to that point, because it's almost like little things just kind of start to get off because I haven't been able to devote as much time to just purely practice. Because usually, you know, if you have a nice little system going where you have like a tournament and then like a week at least of practice, it's like you can kind of regroup, understand, you know, what were my weaknesses from that tournament and then work on those. When you're going from tournament to tournament, you don't always have that much time to work on those weaknesses.
Yeah, you just kind of have to go with
you just kind of have to go with it, and you have to stay in your tournament mindset and be like, okay, we're still in grind mode. You're just doing what you can to score well, which might not always be the best for your fundamentals. And so I could definitely feel it getting towards the end of this tournament. It was kind of like, okay, my swing might not be feeling the best right now, but like this week specifically, I was playing more of a hook, and that kind of had started to develop over my last 3 tournaments. So it wasn't like I was trying to make a swing change at that point because I was still in tournament mode. So I was kind of like, okay, I need to play this hook, which isn't probably the best for my fundamentals or what I would like. But it's just kind of whatever you have to do to score well and get through the tournament. So that's kind of when I start to notice it. I can just kind of feel that like I am craving and I just really need that practice time. So
you want to break down a shot, but you just don't have the time for it.
You don't have the time, and you can't put the mental energy into it either because you're so focused on trying to score well.
Yeah, it's more outcome based than
Yep.
And then we do have something from text line. Rubber Duck says, at what age did you ladies start golfing at?
I started with plastic clubs when I could walk.
Yeah.
But real clubs probably 4 or 5.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, I would say similar age for me. I had 2 older sisters who did it, so it'd kind of be like, I don't know, I'm a little toddler running around, and I'd take one of their clubs and just kind of whack it. But I feel like serious golf, or like actually understanding what I was trying to do, I think my first tournament I was 8, so kind of just whacking the ball
So you guys
around
were both
until
pretty
then.
early when you
Pretty young, yeah.
And part of that too, your families were both pretty big golfers.
Yeah,
right.
Which helps.
But yeah, if you get a text line wants to ask these guys, we got a couple golfers here, one that's on a pretty good hot streak right now. So if you want any tips on golf or just any questions for him, definitely feel free to hit up the Starter Heyman text line. That's 402-464-5685. Because these guys will definitely answer your questions. And like I said, Megan just won a recent championship. So if you've got any questions for her, she definitely has some tips for you. Same with Lindsay. She just got done with 3 tournaments. Going on a break here because she needs it, but I'm sure she's got plenty of advice as well. So definitely hit up that Starter Heyman text line if you guys got any questions for these. And then Megan, I did want to ask you, because you were pretty much playing ahead in that whole tournament, right?
Yes, I was.
So I know every golfer is a little different. What is that mindset for you when you're ahead? Are you looking behind you, or are you just playing each hole?
I was trying to just go each hole at a time. It's hard to stay focused on that and not keep track of where everyone is at, but I knew that both the girls or anyone in the field could go make a string of birdies out there. So I was like, we've got to just foot on the gas and keep going for birdies every hole. And that's kind of the mindset I think I have to have. I know some people maybe play defense when they're in the lead, but
Mhm.
I was like, I've got to attack. Otherwise, I'm going to not be as aggressive and make more mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what about you, Lindsay? If you're having a really good game and you're ahead, are you kind of looking around, or are you just the same thing? You're just like one hole at a time, I'm just going to play aggressive, or do you play it a little more safe?
I would say for me, I try and reduce the risks that I'm taking, and it's more like, because that's my tendency, I tend to get too aggressive.
Mhm.
And so if I do have the lead, I'm like, okay, let's reduce the risk. Or if there's an option of like, oh, here's a risk reward situation, I'll probably try and take the safer route that just like gets me a par, gives me a best chance for par. And just try and stay consistent as possible. At that point, I don't need to be riding any huge waves.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, which my mind tends to go to there. So I just try and kind of dial it back a bit and stay consistent. But
yeah, and I noticed that even yesterday, there was one hole, I hit it left on 11. My ball was on the hazard, but I would have had to stand on the rocks. So my left foot would have been like, my heel would have been really high. My toe would have, I was like this, my feet were not level. I was like, okay, I could try to stand on the rocks, hit this. But I'm like, I don't know if this is going to help.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take my stroke,
Yep.
hit on the green. Bogey's not going to kill me. What's going to kill me is if I try to hit this shot and I whiff it, or I fall in the water, or I, make a double or a triple. Now you've really hurt yourself. But ended up just hitting on the middle of the green 2-putt.
Yep.
Bogey.
Which I am proud of you for doing that, because that is one of the hardest things, is kind of just accepting that at that point, then you're like,
bogey's a good
playing
score.
for bogey.
Yeah.
And that is so hard to do. It's so humbling, because you're like, well, I could, if I had a really good shot here, like I could put
Pull it
myself in
off.
position.
Yep.
But it's like, you were telling me this the other day, because when we were kind of talking about risky situations, you were like, okay, well, use the, what do you call it? Like the 9 out of 10,
90%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is like, which one are you going to be able to execute 9 out of 10 times? And that's the one you should always go with. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I should think about that more often.
Yeah, pick the 90% shot, not the 10% shot.
Yeah. And that's a really good thing to remember with, like, I've been trying to apply that to punch shots too. Like, which is your best angle? Well, which one are you going to be able to safely execute and get yourself in good position 90% of the time? So yeah, that's another good tip to kind of keep you not riding a roller coaster.
Yes.
And not getting too ahead of yourself. But
then we got another one from text line here. He says, if you had 2 tips for a beginner golfer to remember in order for them to improve, what would you recommend? So someone who's just getting into it, just 2 simple tips to get them started, essentially.
I would say my number 1 would be patient. Don't have too high of expectations. It is not as easy as it looks. I mean, what the pros do is unbelievable, the shots they can hit. And the second thing would be, I mean, people don't like to hear this, but practice your short game more than your irons and your driver. It's more fun to hit drivers on the range, but the putts are really where the strokes come in.
Yeah, for sure. I would also second that and say even more specifically, like short putts.
Yeah.
You can save yourself a lot of strokes if you really get good from 5 feet on in. And again, that's like a super mundane thing to practice on the putting green, and it's not always the most fun to just hit 3-footer after 3-footer, but we do a drill sometimes where you make 100 3-footers in a row, and it seems like the most basic skill
and
ever.
It's so hard.
But it's so hard.
It's so hard
but it's also so good for your game. Like if you can confidently go into a 3-footer knowing, okay, yesterday I just made 100 of these in a row. It just gives you so much confidence. So I would say that focus on your short putts. And another one kind of along the lines of stay patient, but just don't get too down or disappointed in yourself. Golf is a very up and down game, and it comes in waves, and it comes with a lot of timing. So yeah, just kind of ride out the waves, and you'll get to those good parts, but you got to go through some of the
rough patches
as well.
Yeah,
so
that's good advice, because that first time out, especially if you're a beginner, it's, unless you're, that's something that you're just incredibly naturally gifted at, it's more than likely going to be sloppy that first time you go out.
Yeah.
So it's good advice. Definitely patient. It's definitely a patience thing, because I don't golf like you guys, but I just went up to Crofton and golfed, and it was a process. It was really choppy at first.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get out of your head and you settle down. It's like, okay,
you stick with it.
Yeah. Just relax here a little bit, and then it does start piecing together. But yeah, definitely a lot of reps, a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And I like what you guys said about putting. because I was definitely missing a lot of strokes on the greens.
It helps. Yeah, it does. That's where you can, I feel like, make the most gains, like very simply.
Yeah.
Is just with your
Well,
shortcuts.
and that's honestly been every day I've made 53 footers every day.
Yeah.
And it's not been fun, but
No.
that's what I've started every practice session with, because my 3-foot make percentage this last season was not as good as I wanted
Okay.
it to be. And that's what I said, 8 tees up around the hole and just circle
Yep.
after circle until I make 50. And I have to make all 8 in a row, and that counts as 8. And then I do another 8 and another 8 and get to whatever 48, and I'm done. But it makes you really focus on that. And then in
Yeah.
competition, you can stand over. Oh yeah, make 50 of these a day.
Yeah.
I've got this. But
And it really just takes the pressure
it
off.
does.
Yeah. And I'm guessing with those, you set up some that kind of break too. Well, yeah,
Yes.
you're going all around the hole.
Mhm.
So yeah, some of them break, which also really helps ease your confidence when you have
Yes.
that. Because you're not
then
always going to have
you
a
can
flat
see
three-footer.
the same putt
Yep.
that you see on practice and competition.
Yeah, that's a great idea for a drill. Perfect. All right. Well, we'll be back with our second segment with our quirky question today. But this is 93.7 The Ticket, Big Red Birdies with Lindsay Teal and Megan Whitaker. We'll be right back.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a certification to help your current career or learning an entirely new career in healthcare, trades and industry, or computers and technology, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
I present the fruitcake. Long the subject of jokes, ridicule, derision, but did the fruitcake accept its place in the culinary totem pole? No! The fruitcake sought to rise to its full potential at Beatrice Bakery. Premium nuts, high-quality fruits, and the delectable trio of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Grandma's fruitcake is no punchline, but a decadent treat that packs a punch of flavor.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. For tonight, we'll see a low right around 66 with partly cloudy skies, mostly sunny skies, and hot for Friday with a high right around 97. Not much cooling Friday night. We'll drop down to around 75 with breezy conditions and passing clouds. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Let's do it. Let's get away. Let's go outside, cast a line, and reel in good times with our family and friends. Get a little peace, quiet, and relaxation. And make some memories that will last a lifetime. Let's do it. Let's Fish Nebraska. Start planning your fishing trip today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Big Red Birdies with Lindsey Teal and Megan Whitaker on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. This is Big Red Birdies with Lindsey Teal and Megan Whitaker. We are on our second segment, and it sounds like over the break we had a question come in.
Yep. So we had, I think it's Unknown Texter. Yep. Unknown Texter says, do you have any good putting drills for longer putts? Since you guys were kind of speaking about that's where you're going to lose a lot of strokes.
Yeah.
Do you got any good tips for longer putts?
Yeah. We do this one drill specifically. It's called Need for Speed. We did this one a lot during season, but I'll try and explain this the best I can. Basically, you're working on, like you said, your lag putting and specifically your speed with your lag putting. So you'll basically set up a tee 3 feet from the fringe, and then you'll take a 20-foot putt from there, and you're putting towards the fringe. The goal is to land your ball between the tee and the fringe. And so you'll putt 3 balls, and if you want to do 3 in a row, make it between the tee and the fringe, and it's really just honing in on your speed. Once you get that one from there, you move to 30 foot, do the same thing, maybe a different look of the putt. And then you can continue 40, 50 foot. But basically, yeah, it's just really getting your speed consistent, which is really the most important thing with those longer putts, with those lag putts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of those longer putts, people just don't really know how to start.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like, how do I work on this when every green's different? But
Yeah.
like you said, speed being the
for
main
sure.
thing to figure out, and then reading the greens just kind of comes I feel like to you naturally a little bit
Mhm.
as you
Your
play
eyes,
more,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like obviously you guys would be a lot better at reading the greens than I would, but if I could at least control the speed, I'd be able to maybe save myself a couple strokes.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's see here. Yeah, that's all we got right now. But if you guys have any more questions, like I said, we got a couple really good golfers here, so they can help you out on really anything you're trying to work on out there. They got at least some tips or drills that you can work on. So hit up the Starter Heyman text line. That's 402-464-5685. But we are going to switch gears here a little bit.
Yes, it is our quirky question time. The question today is, what's the best sports movie out there?
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first. What's your top one?
I would say 100% Glory Road. It's my favorite movie of all time. Not even just sports movie, but it is my absolute favorite. Yeah, I kind of grew up watching that one. For those of you that haven't seen it, it's about a small Texas Western basketball team back in the, I'm going to butcher this, I don't remember what years, but we could look it up.
I'll look it up real quick.
Perfect. But yeah, basically they were just going through a lot of like segregation. They were the first team to put 5 black players on the floor at the same time, and they ended up making it all the way, I believe, beating Kentucky in like the Final Four.
Yep, it's based on it was in 2006 when it was released, but it's based on the 1966 NCAA tournament.
1966, yeah. So just like a very wholesome, heartwarming
Mhm.
movie. It's my absolute favorite. Josh Lucas stars in it. Yeah, that's up there for me.
All right.
Yeah.
I would have to say my favorite one is Miracle.
Yep, that's another good one.
I think just the whole movie is so good, and then just the underdog story, United States, a bunch of college hockey players. The again scene with the whistle is so good every time.
That is true. That is an
They
iconic
just
scene.
make them
Yeah.
skate and skate and skate
Yep.
until
Yeah.
they're dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm gonna go. These are our ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
number
I'm
one.
gonna take Hoosiers.
Okay,
I think
yep.
that even though I couldn't remember the name over the break, as simple as it is,
You had it.
yeah.
Indiana basketball.
Yeah, I said
Yes.
Indiana basketball, but no, that one's always a classic. I feel like, especially with basketball movies, it's really hard to get legitimate looking basketball in a movie.
Yeah,
like it always
True.
looks really fake, phony. You
Yep.
see the guy shoot, and then it cuts away to the rim and it goes in.
Yeah.
Or he goes
Sure.
up for the dunk, and it shows him leaving the ground, cuts to the rim, and all of a sudden he's up at the rim.
Yeah,
So
right.
that one you could actually see some like legitimate basketball skills, and that's kind of rare to see.
I
even
always
today.
wonder that, like, in sports movies, do the actors that they choose know how to play,
play the
sport?
sport?
Yeah.
You would hope so. I suppose it's the producer's choice, but I think Miracle. I think those were real athletes as well.
I think
Wow,
so.
that is impressive.
Yeah,
To
I
act
I
and
think
be an
I think
athlete.
I think for that movie you'd kind of have to be with the ice skating.
Oh, the skating
Mhm.
and hockey players impress me. That, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I have literally never done it. I can barely ice skate, but you're skating
No,
and
it's
you're
so
trying to
hard.
play a sport.
I mean,
That,
just
that
hockey
movie's
enough,
up there for
yeah.
me too. That is such a good movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
Those are 3 good ones to start off with.
Yeah, that's
I
a
like it.
good, strong first round.
It
I,
is.
I'm very comfortable with that.
We're
Okay.
leaving one out though. Remember the Titans. That's coming in at number 2 for me.
That's your number 2.
Yep. That's just another
I have that
classic.
as my number 2 as well.
Yep.
Oh wow, you guys are both on the same on that one. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see
I
here.
think just the coaching dynamic between it, and then the
Oh, so
ending,
good.
and then the coach's daughter who's so into football, and then the other coach's daughter who's not into football at all. I mean, it's such a good movie.
It is.
Yeah, my number 2, I got Coach Carter. That you've never actually seen.
I
Lindsay
haven't-
has not seen
I
Coach
haven't.
Carter.
I feel kind of called out.
Yeah, which is surprising. That
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah, have
It'll-
to. It's a good one. That's when Ann won too. You guys remember Ann won the brand?
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
when Ann one
yes,
was at its peak.
yes.
That's almost when Ann. It was like
Okay.
cool to wear Ann one
Okay.
at that time. But yeah, that's just a great one. That's another really feel good story. He basically puts school. It's like a pretty heavily broke community.
Okay.
Really bad basketball team. He comes in there. He's really hard on the kids, but he wants them like he's like, you gotta wear a shirt and tie, and they're like, we
Oh,
can't
yep.
afford a shirt and tie.
Yep.
And he's like, there's a Goodwill store right there.
Yep.
But yeah, that's another great one. That's a strong 2
That
for
is
me.
a good one.
Yeah. That seems like a theme in that movie. Remember the Titans is kind of
Mhm.
the same way. Glory Road's the same way.
The redemption stories always
Just
sell.
redemption
Yeah.
and just like discipline and
Mhm.
hard work. That's wow. Good stuff. Yeah.
So we go to number 3 here.
Oh yeah, yours was number 2. Yep.
Yeah, you guys have the same ones.
3, I have Greatest Game Ever Played. That's a golf movie. That's my top golf movie for sure.
Top golf movie.
Yeah, that one's about Harry Vardon and Frances We Met. I also don't remember the year on that one, but it's the U.S. Open sometime in Brookline. So that's an amazing underdog story too.
The caddy's the best part, I think, in that movie.
I know!
The little kid
Eddie.
caddy.
Eddie's his name.
I forgot about Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes that movie. That
I think that's the best part of that movie for me.
It is. He's
when
so
he comes
funny.
into caddy. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes it.
And then I guess you guys have both had the same 3 again, or did you give yours?
I think my 3. I have a golf movie as well. I put 7 Days in Utopia. That's a
Another
pretty
good one.
classic movie. I actually read the book before I saw the movie, and it was really good book, very good movie too. I just think it's cool that he just goes for 7 days on a course that doesn't even look like a golf course like that we would play, and he finds his game by painting and fly fishing and doing all these crazy things, because it's just like the ideas of those can translate to golf. I just think it's a very cool movie.
That is a good one.
Yeah, and then for my number 3, we'll go 42. You guys ever seen that one?
Oh, is it Jackie Robinson?
Yeah, first black baseball player.
Yep. Okay.
That one's really good because you see like the pure frustration that guy went through. There's like a scene where you can imagine he's just getting heckled the entire time for being a black person playing the sport, and he just goes into the dugout and he just beats the bat up against the wall and just smashes it into pieces, and it just calms down. He's like, okay, I gotta.
That's what he needed.
Yeah, it just took that so much anger, but like, that's a really good one. I do like those sports movies where they get into that history a little bit.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
you get to see like, sports weren't always so pretty.
Right.
There's definitely some areas where there was such a pushback against like the black community for whatever reason may be, but I do like those movies that dive into that history a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Like I was telling Megan just a little bit ago with Glory Road, I had the chance to go to the National Basketball Hall of Fame up in Massachusetts, and just getting to see like the real team there and what the movie was based on. It's seeing that history part is really so cool. Yeah, especially when they're based on true stories.
I was gonna say, I think that's my favorite type of sports movie, is when it's based on a true story, and I think that's why I like Miracle so much, is because it is a true story, and I feel like they reenacted it really well.
So well.
I mean, I guess I wasn't alive, so I don't really know, but it seems like that's exactly how it happened.
Super accurate.
And then we got Unknown Texter says, I can't believe you haven't mentioned The Little Giants. That's not on my board. Is it on your guys' board?
I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Oh man, it's a good movie. It's definitely
What's
worth.
it about?
It's a baseball movie. It's if I watched it a long time ago. I want to say, I'll look it up. You guys keep talking for a little bit, but
I think my favorite baseball movie is Bad News Bears.
Also haven't seen
You
that
haven't
one.
seen that one either?
No, I haven't seen a lot of baseball movies. I would have to say The Sandlot.
oh, never mind. It's a
Sandlot.
It's a football movie. I am not thinking of the right
no.
one. So I guess I haven't seen this one either.
Little
So that
Giants.
texter is probably going to be extremely disappointed.
Yeah,
But
sorry about it.
it was released in 1994. It's a sports
Okay.
comedy. So
Okay. Yep. I'll put it on my list.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
always up for movie recommendations.
yeah, and then switching gears here, we'll get back to the films, but real quick before we lose, we got another unknown texter who says, I'm left, right, and center off the tee. At the very least, I would love to have a consistent miss. Any tips?
For me, when things start going everywhere, I go down in club. So I will switch to a 3-wood or a 5-wood or an iron just to get something in play, because I feel like it's easier, I don't know, for me to control the misses, just because my swing speed isn't as high. And so I feel like the miss is less. So like yesterday, I needed a couple shots just to get it down the fairway because my driver wasn't working as well.
Yep.
I just fell back on 3-wood and trusted it, and it worked out well.
And it gets your confidence up too. Like you have a couple bad swings with a driver, which is so easy to do. The driver is the hardest club to hit, in my opinion. So yeah, just kind of going down. I do the same thing sometimes when it's not going so well. You just go down a club, get your confidence back. Okay, I can't hit center of the face. I can get it going down the fairway. Yeah, I think so. Just find a way to get your confidence back up, because I think a lot of times it's more in our heads than we realize.
Yeah.
And then as we're trying to swing and figure it out, we're trying to figure it out mid-swing, which never helps anything.
No.
So yeah, just doing what you can to like play as free as you can. Which a lot of times, going down in club, that's helped me too.
Yeah, it's a smart idea. I've never actually considered that, but it makes sense because, like you said, there'll be times where I'm leaving my club face way too open and it'll just be shanking. And then, like you said, I'm like, okay, gotta keep that in front, and then you're thinking about turning the swing,
Yeah.
and then it goes the other way.
Yeah.
And then it's I actually like that. I've never thought about just going down a club, but it makes perfect sense because that string, like you said, that swing doesn't have to be so fast when you have the driver.
Yep.
But yeah, those are some good tips. So you guys keep them coming. You can get in on the movie top 5 sports movies, or if you got any more golf tips you want from these guys, like I said, a couple of really talented golfers in here. Hit up Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, and I believe we are on pick number 4 on our boards.
Yeah, mine's one we already mentioned, but Hoosiers.
Yep.
Classic.
I would say I actually just watched this for the first time a year or 2 ago. McFarland, USA.
Yeah, that's
It's
a good
about a
one.
cross-country team.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a really
It
really
is
good
good.
movie. I'm not sure if I think that one's based off a true story too.
Yeah,
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
High school,
What year would
high
that
school
be?
cross country team.
I-
It's recent. I
it's
think
pretty-
like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, Kevin Costner, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Very heartwarming.
And it's just
yeah, just a solid, wholesome movie.
very hot there, and they just run hills and hills and hills, and yeah.
Create a team out of something that wasn't a team
Yep.
before. They had,
Yeah, it's based off a true story.
Does it say what year?
I'm still looking for it. It's given me not seeing it on the actual year.
I think I saw it in theaters for the first time, so I want to say it's.
So it's not, yeah.
2015. There we go.
Okay. I'm not usually pretty good at that. Yeah.
What's your number 4?
Let's see. Okay, now I'm splitting hairs here. We'll go. We'll save one comedy for last, just because I feel like those are a little bit on the fringe for
Same.
sports movies.
Yeah.
So
I did the comedy too.
for the
my last
4th, we'll go We Are Marshall. I feel like that
Okay, yeah.
one's
Yeah.
another true story. True stories just always sell.
They do.
Um,
They really do.
And that one's like an incredible because they
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
get rid of the program because obviously you don't have a roster. They somehow managed to put together a roster. And Marshall was really bad for a while, and they kept the team alive, and now they're pretty competent today. They're one of the better teams in their division. So it's a cool story to go back and see like what they had to go through.
Yeah.
And then you look at them today, and it's like it's a really good thing they kept that thing going.
Progress.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true. Yeah. All right, on to number 5.
Final pick here.
Mine is good old Kicking and Screaming.
Yeah.
With Will Ferrell.
Okay.
That's
That I don't even know if that classifies as a sports movie, but
it's.
that is,
I mean,
love it.
I used to watch that movie on repeat.
Same.
Yeah.
When I was little,
We'd go take road trips and we'd just
Oh,
watch
yeah.
that one.
That is funny. It's a classic.
I had a tie between Kicking and Screaming or Happy Gilmore.
Okay, yeah.
So
We're
pretty
golfers, we have
similar.
to throw Happy Gilmore in
Yeah,
there at
pretty
some point.
similar level of serious. It's not really a sports movie, but
No.
there's sports in it.
Yeah.
We actually have a texter. He guessed my 5.
Whoa.
Dodgeball.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good
That
one.
is so
We
funny.
all picked kind of similar fifth
Yeah.
ones along the same lines.
That's my favorite comedy movie of all
That
time.
is funny. I
With the
honestly,
Average Joes.
I could watch
Yeah.
that on repeat. That's
That's a good one. I kind of forgot about that movie.
Oh man, what's the broadcaster's name? Cotton.
Yeah.
There's just so many good one-liners in
I
that
know.
movie.
There is.
It's a good quoting movie.
Yeah,
You
it
can
is.
quote so much. Yeah.
He's putting the wrenches through the
Yes.
thing, just putting random tools, launching them at the guys.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
I forgot about that one.
I did too. I haven't seen it in a while.
So yeah, and then my other comedy was Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another just you can turn that on anytime and you're probably going to sit down and at least watch a good 20-30 minutes of it.
Yeah.
But then Newton, he also has another golf question for you guys. So he says, once an athlete gets into high school, the amount of time they have to put into the daily grind of improving can wear on their mental health. Any recommendations on how to keep a high school kid and college athletes pushing forward through the stress of being a full-time student athlete?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing has always been for me is just have a really strong support system. And I'm very thankful. I have a lot of amazing friends, great family who remind me that, you're not just a golfer. You play golf. You are a
Yes.
person and a lot more than just a golfer. And I think I also think doing things outside of sports help.
I agree.
Just whatever that is. It doesn't matter if it's a different club or if it's focusing on school or just something to remind yourself that, you put in your 5 hours a day or however many hours you want to practice, but, fill your day with some other stuff too.
Yeah. And make sure you don't lose sight of other things that are important to you too. It's super easy when you're so focused on that goal of, when we were in high school, it's like just getting to play college golf and getting there. But then it's like, we're at this point, now we're playing college golf. So it's like, what else do you have that's still important in your life? that you can do as well. So I would say that. We'll come back in segment 3 next after the break, but this is Big Red Birdies on 93.7 The Ticket with Lindsay Teal and Megan Whitaker.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at coppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a certification to help your current career or learning an entirely new career in healthcare, trades and industry, or computers and technology, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back to Big Red Birdies with Lindsey Teal and Megan Whitaker on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. This is Big Red Birdies with Lindsey Teal and Megan Whitaker. Final segment of the day. We'll just jump right into it, Lindsey. So we talked about the importance of taking breaks earlier.
Yeah.
You're kind of about to take a break. What are you looking forward to? Yeah.
I think just kind of the reset. Then, like, I'm honestly looking back to like my first day of practice after the break and just kind of having that reset, having that whole week where it's kind of like, yeah, you're not in tournament mode, you're not in grind mode, and you just get a step away from it a little bit. Looking forward to some family time with friends, and just being able to like just put that whole mindset aside just for a little bit, so then it can help me that much more when I come back. And going into season especially, I think it's super important. We kind of do this just within our off seasons, but taking that little bit of a break right before you go into a big long season, just because you can know and can kind of anticipate everything that's going to come in that season, and just it's going to be long, it's going to be a process, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. So kind of just taking a little bit of a break right before that to get your head in the right spot, be prepared for it, and just be in a really good place mentally before you go into season.
Yeah.
So I would say, what do you think on that?
I completely agree, because that's my plan too. I'll go out to Seattle and play. And the minute I'm done with the tournament, the break will begin before season starts, because I just think it's so important. I mean, our fall season goes until November, and so we're going to be on the go, traveling a lot. Obviously school's starting too. So I think it's just really important that you take time off, and it's just that mental reset. And I think there's like nothing better. You get even more excited to go back out and golf, I feel like, after you take a break.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
very
something
true.
to be said. Like, you come back, you take 5 days off. That first day you're back, you could be there all day.
Yeah.
And just
It's
hit balls
great.
and do this and go play 18 and then go hit again,
Yeah.
because you're just like, wow, this is so exciting. And
This is why
you
I
look
do
at
it.
everything in positive light. I mean, it's just, I think it's just a really nice way to reset.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the dangers too of not taking breaks, and I know I've definitely experienced it, where you're just going and going and you're like, oh, I got to work hard on this. I got to work hard on this. And you just go for so long. Burnout. I mean, it's a real thing. It's a real thing within college athletics. I've experienced it before just on my own in the summer. And yeah, it's dangerous. It's not something fun to go through.
I think you start losing your fundamentals, and most importantly, you start losing your focus. Like, that's how I know I'm on the way to burnout. You practice and you're like, I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stay focused throughout the drills, and it's like that. You just aren't getting any return really when you practice, because you're not fully there.
Yeah. And I mean, we definitely try and take breaks, like we were saying, on like with that long-term focus, like before season or right after our long seasons. But we even have it, I mean, the NCAA puts it in for us as well, even within our seasons. It's mandatory that we have 1 day off a week, which really helps, when we're traveling all the time and when we're go. Just even those short-term breaks of like, okay, at 1 out of 7 days, I'm taking off. And I mean, it's always available if we want to practice on our own, we can. But yeah, that really helps us to kind of get in that mindset that like taking breaks is okay. Yes, we're high-level athletes who are striving for, success in our sport, but it is okay to take that break.
I think it just is a nice reset. And even like today, I mean, I'll go play again tomorrow, but today it was nice to just catch up on everything.
Yeah.
You can just relax, you can
tournament.
rest, you can recover. And then, because if you play today, it's just like, you just feel tired going into another tournament.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, coming out of tournaments, you're just mentally exhausted. I mean, with this last one, it was like 3 days we were just going, and it's like over every shot you're thinking, down every fairway, you're planning for your next shot. You're just always thinking. You get to an end of a round, but even more so at the end of a tournament, and you're just like, wow, I mean, my brain is fried.
Yes.
It is mush right now.
Yes.
So that's another reason why those breaks are just a really good idea, just to kind of give like your brain that space.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for joining us today, you guys. This is Big Red Birdies with Megan Whitaker and Lindsey Teal here on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks again for listening.
Yep, you bet. And then I will tease the next show real quick. We will have Priscilla, Joseph, and Rico. They will be up for the next 2 hours. And like she said, appreciate you guys listening. These guys will be back next week, correct?
Yes.
Same time.
Yep.
So next week, Thursday, 6 to 7, be sure to catch that. You can get all your golf tips, golf information, and a little bit of everything else in there as well. This is Megan Whitaker, Lindsay Teely, and Harrison Arns. We will see you guys again next week.
.93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. For tonight, we'll see a low right around 66 with partly cloudy skies, mostly sunny skies, and hot for Friday with a high right around 97. Not much cooling Friday night. We'll drop down to around 75 with breezy conditions and passing clouds. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.